r/AskReddit by Redmond Dts. Pizza delivery drivers. What did a person do to end up on the no delivery list? Ran a pizza to a house. Guy answered the door with an armload of laundry and said, "Come put it in the kitchen please." I followed him through the house. Walking past the living room, where there was a projector playing a gay male orgy on the entire wall, surround sound putting in work. I set the pizza down on the counter, and he asked if I wanted to stay and have a slice. I declined. We were told never enter someone's house cause you never know if someone is lying in wait to rob you. So I never did, no matter how much they complained. Thankfully, my manager was as adamant as I was about that rule, having been a driver herself. I once had some kids order a large, eat most of it, and stick a dead spider in one of the remaining slices. The boss asked me to drive over and look at it, and it was obvious what they did. The spider looked uncooked, and how did they not notice it when they opened the box? They started to argue, and I just drove off. The next weekend, their parents tried to order, and we told them why they were on the no delivery list. Hopefully these weren't lenient parents. I was a manager at a pizza shop and had a sheet pizza delivered to a hospital. They claimed there was a cockroach on the pizza. We replaced it, and I had the driver pick up the cockroach pizza. It came back with all of the pieces gone, except one in the middle with a cockroach on it. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't eat anything that I know a cockroach walked on. We didn't ban them though. It was a large hospital and we couldn't ban them. If I were to get a pizza with a cockroach in it, I wouldn't demand an immediate replacement. I wouldn't order from that place ever again. Not delivery driver, but I worked at pizza place for a while, and we had this guy who would order large pizzas, then claim they were wrong every single time to get free replacement. He did this maybe 15 times before manager finally caught on and banned him from ordering. The audacity of some people really amazes me sometimes. Like, did he think nobody would notice the pattern? Not a driver, but spouse worked at a pizza place. The house wasn't on the ban list, but apparently the wife would always answer the door naked, and the more surprised the driver looked, the higher their tip would be. Pizza workers would warn the new drivers to look as shocked as possible to increase their gratuity. They asked nicely, haha. When I showed up, the woman who answered the door was briefly surprised before explaining her young son was autistic and had a habit of ordering pizza without permission. She said she'd tried putting locks on every device they own, but he'd even figured out how to order from the TV. I offered to take the order back and cancel the charge. She asked to be blacklisted from online ordering and said she will do carry out if she ever wants to place an order. My managers didn't know how to do that, but we did make note of the address and to call about the order before making it in the future. I don't know how long that lasted after I left the location. The customer asked me to go inside his house to show me what's wrong with his pizza. He demanded their pizzas be free and keep them because the prep person forgot to put extra cheese on one of them. He snatched up the stack of receipts from my hand as I was trying to find his, so he had all the credit card numbers of everyone I had delivered to that day. When I asked for them back, he said no and threatened to attack me and said he'd tell the police that I attacked him in his home if I don't leave his house. I delivered the second order I had in my car, which was literally the house across the street. Then as I'm walking to my car, I call my manager. As it rings, the angry customer walks outside, so I put my phone in my pocket. He throws the receipts of the other orders at me, then stands over me with his fist over my face, threatening to kill me if I ever drive in his street again. When I get to the store, the manager tells me that this customer called and said I threatened him and his family, demanding that I get fired. I told my manager that's not what happened. She said she knows because I didn't hang up my phone when I put it in my pocket. She put him on the no delivery list and told him if he ever calls the store again, she'll call the police. When I was a driver over 20 years ago, there was a Motel 6 that we flat out wouldn't deliver to, despite being less than a mile away. 3 different drivers got robbed at gun or knife point in the span of a year before I got there, and that was enough to blacklist it. Only have a couple stories from my time as a driver. One guy offered me weed as payment. Fortunately he also had cash, and one lady's order I had to return to the store because she was busy getting arrested in the front yard. Damn. I got mugged at gunpoint on a delivery, and my GM put a blanket ban on the entire apartment complex. Worked at a pizza place that served a pretty ghetto neighborhood. Drivers kept getting robbed when going there, so they blacklisted the whole neighborhood. One day a gangster comes into the shop, and he says he's the big man around there, and he told the GM that his drivers would be safe if they came back, and he wanted pizza. We started going back, and never had another robbery out there again. Not me, but a friend worked at a Domino's. Craziest story she had was when she was delivering to a customer, and the customer refused the pizza because she wasn't the usual delivery guy. Now, the usual delivery guy quit his job about a week prior, and she was basically his replacement. Anyways, the customer threw a tantrum, didn't tip, and eventually called the store and ranted about the whole thing being a conspiracy led by J. Patrick Doyle himself, the CEO at the time, to ruin his life, and demanded they rehire the previous guy who he genuinely considered to be his best friend. He then went on about how the pizza was made with tears of sadness and alligator bile. Pretty sure they blocked the guy. Poor dude sounded like he was having a breakdown. He would ask the delivery driver to bring the food into the kitchen and set in on the kitchen island. Once there, he would have a conversation with the driver about how hot his daughter looked in her bikini. Would say that he would be ordering pizza later that evening again, and if the driver was interested in coming back with that order, he could have sex with the daughter while he watched from a distance. The first driver that dealt with this ignored it. The second one told the general manager. Called the dad and told him that he is banned from ordering from us because of what he was offering to the delivery drivers. Almost shot me. His wife ordered, and he didn't know, so he thought I was a solicitor. Fun times in a small town. Lived in an area where any driver got robbed. You live in the skeezy part of town. We'll meet you at a gas station over 10 minutes away from there. No, you can't pay extra to have it delivered all the way. We are poor, not stupid. Didn't pay for their food after ordering. Although usually that just means that you have to prepay first, but in the olden days it was cash on delivery. Complained about their pizza more than 3 times in a row. Either the order was too complicated, or they were too picky, or they were just wanting free food. Obviously we couldn't help them the way they wanted to be helped, so we just gave them a number to another pizza place. Harassed a female driver in any way. Guys were pretty laid back about it, but the ladies did not put up with the lick of BS from the customers. If you got a note on your account about sexual harassment, you wouldn't even get a meetup note. Sorry, our system doesn't allow us to deliver to this address, but you're more than welcome to get it for carry out. We wouldn't even give it to the guy drivers, because the system doesn't work like that for assigning orders, and we didn't want their business anyway. Edit. Worked for Domino's in the 2000s. Robbed me at gunpoint. Got the $27 in my pocket, a prison sentence, and his entire apartment complex put on our no delivery list. Not a driver, but me and my ex ordered Chinese delivery. After paying the Chinese lady, my small dog ran after her to her car, and I said in a stern, angry voice for him to get back inside. The lady says, "Oh no, I have to get going." Took me a minute to realize what she said, and that she thought I was ordering her to get inside. I never ordered from there again. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening. tell your friends about me.